Hello everybody and welcome to Clydebridge Station, and this is the June 2020 update and it's video number 48. First of all, I just hope that you all enjoyed video number 47. It was a bit of fun. I know that people do special videos at maybe 50 or 100, but as my layout is full of class 47s and it's my favourite loco, why not just do it at video 47 instead and be a little bit different. So it means that when I get to video number 50, I don't think I'll be doing anything special. Now in this update, there's not too much progress, of course, as usual. But I'm going to be filming a little bit of progress as well, and I'm going to be trying to keep my temper with the Scale Model Series Chain Link Fencing Kit, which I've been reassured is a bit of a nightmare. So what I'll do is I'll show you what has been taking place this month, show you what I am progressing with this month, and I'll give some shout outs as well. I'll give a quick shout out straight away to a couple of people who are not involved in model railways, but who you will find on likes of Twitter and Instagram. If I can give a quick shout out to a gentleman called Andrew Cotter. You'll find him on Twitter, I think it's Mr. Andrew Cotter. He is a freelance sports broadcaster. He does rugby union commentaries for BT Sport and the BBC. He also commentates on athletics, tennis, golf and the boat race for the BBC, and he also does corporate hosting at some golf events as well. He actually has two dogs and has just recently done a commentary on the two dogs having a little bit of fun with each other. So Andrew, if you actually happen to be watching this programme, and in fact you will be because I'll be sending you a link on Twitter, so that was a bit of a redundant statement to make, could you do some commentary on my trains one day? We'll see what you can come up with. Also staying with that, and Nick Mullins on Twitter, if you give him a check out, he's a rugby union commentator with BT Sport and ITV. He's commentated on the last 3 Rugby Union World Cup finals for ITV, and he also does tennis commentary for ITV and the BBC. He usually does likes of doubles and some of the singles ties at Wimbledon for the Beeb, and does the French Open commentary for ITV. So if you give him a check out as well. And in terms of layouts, obviously I'll start off this month as usual by giving Dean Park Station a shout out. You can find him here on YouTube and Facebook as well. Please subscribe to him. And a lesser known layout you could do well with following is doublerail.com. That's an American who runs that layout, but it's set in the British rail sectorisation era. So if you give them a check out as well. Anyway, let's get on with progress for this month. Hopefully you could just see this, but this is the Scale Model Sceneries Torture Yourself kit, also known as the Chain Link Fencing kit. And Scale Model Sceneries, run by Justin Noble, are the makers of this. It is very, very fiddly and it needs a lot of patience. So you can see I have been starting, and it might not be too visible, but there is a little bit of chain link fence there. I've still got the bits to put across the top, the wires. That I'm reassured is extraordinarily difficult, and I may actually end up having to take a shortcut to do that because of the way I've painted this. I'll show you why in a minute. I've got one of the gate posts in position. I'll get the other one positioned just shortly there, and then these two gates are going to get fencing put on them. The problem I actually have is that I painted this with Jock's grey gloss paint, and it's covered some of the holes over, so I'm going to have to try and somehow carefully scrape the holes off so I can actually get the chain link through. If I can't do that safely enough, what I'll have to end up doing is possibly just gluing it to the back of the chain of the posts instead. So you see there? So that may be actually one idea that I'll have to do. It is very fiddly. Now while we're actually here, we've got this sign made up and installed. That's from Real Track Signs. which I mentioned to you last month. So they've actually supplied that signage for the depot area. So I've got that installed there on posts that are supplied by Scale Model Scenery. What I've also done is I've put here, this has actually turned out to be a lot thicker. I've maybe put too much of this gravel on. However, what I've decided to do is leave it as it is, and I'll probably put a picnic bench in there. People might think that's a bit strange putting a picnic bench there. It'd be for staff use only. I have actually seen an induction video on YouTube for the former ITV South and South East of England franchise holder Television South TVS, and it does actually show some footage of staff outside having their food at a picnic table, so it doesn't seem to be out of place at all. I'm sure I've seen somewhere that there was a staff one at a depot. How did I get these posts in? Well, I had to drill holes and then put them in and glue the posts in. Now I must confess, when I was doing the original gluing, a bit of the tarmac surface that I painted on there, the black gloss came off. I'm going to leave that though, because it'll do as a wee imperfection in the, in the actual area, because these roads are never perfect. And what I've also managed to do is create a little bit of a pathway here that will need to get painted grey as well. I'll have to obviously still glue down the rest of that gravel first of all. Oh, there's the rain on. It's summertime, by the way, and that'll then get painted grey. And as you could see, some of the gravel has actually went over into the scatter material here, but I'm not bothered about that. It makes it a bit more realistic. It makes it look like it's overgrown quite a bit. I've also put a couple of signs here, site office and do's and don'ts, health and safety. That's actually to do with the for visiting the depot, working at the depot, and it is actually again from Right Track Signs. Now at the time of filming, the Quadrant Park nightclub has still not been featured in the 100 word piece on BRM magazine, but once it does I'll let you know. Give a quick shout out to a couple of other layouts I've mentioned to Dean Park Station, doublerail.com. If I could mention West Blythe MPD, who's gave me some good advice in the past. Give him a quick shout out. Also want to give a quick shout out to Dudley Central, based in the West Midlands. Check that layout out as well, with the Sprinter trains in their Central livery. Now up here we've got differences in the thickness of the road markings. That's because these ones here are the Scale Model Sceneries ones, and these ones here are the Ten Commandments ones. And I have to say, the Scale Model Sceneries ones are actually a lot better. They seem to be a bit more flexible. So you can see what I've done here. I've went and put double yellow lines around the corner. My skills are not that good though. And I've also got here a bus stop sign installed. Again, local authority isn't very good at laying the strips down, so neither am I. And I've got here a loading only bay here. To make sure that I got everything accurate, what I've done was referred to a book that I've got in the house called Know Your Traffic Signs. The copy I've got is from 1997, just prior to me taking my driving lessons. And it gives a lot more extensive detail about road signs than the Highway Code. I don't know if the book's still in print. I got the copy from a branch of W.H. Smith, and it was published by the stationery office. Your best bet is to actually go into one of the retailing websites that sells books, like this W.H. Smith, Waterstones, or even if you put the stationery office into your internet search engine to see if they still publish it and where you can get it from. It is a very good book, not just for people taking driving lessons and a driving test, but it's also good for in this instance as well. And we move along the streets, and you can see I've got more laid down. We've got the bus stop sign here, and more double yellow lines laid down. I've also got a road sign there, 30, 20 zone ends, and I'll just turn it around there, 20 zone. There'll be more signs getting put up in the coming months. It goes all the way around, and we've got double yellow lines here outside the NatWest Bank. We've got this giveaway sign there, and if you look further up, I've managed to get a zebra crossing laid there as well. I'll just put it like that for you. And that zebra crossing is complete. The only thing that's needed now on this bit of the street scene here is the Belisha beacons for the zebra crossing, the no entry signs and the no right and left turn signs there. And then we just need lamp posts. Once that's done, that's that bit of the street scene completed there on Memorial Road. So that's coming on quite well. And while we're actually up here and looking around, another thing I'm going to put on there in the future is a for sale sign on the Mars menswear shop, because it looks rather derelict. So that's something to come in the future. Just before we go back down to the depot and see how I'm progressing with the chain link fencing, just a quick couple of shout outs to a couple of guys on Instagram. If you could give a quick follow to two country music singers from America, Rylan F and Greg Pratt. The two of them actually sometimes play together in various places in Tennessee. I think that's where Nashville is. Rylan, correct me if I'm wrong. So if you could please check them out as well on Instagram, and I'd be delighted to get your support. Well, that's where we're up to so far with it. I must actually confess, when I was getting this all put on here, I actually broke one of the posts and had to glue it down. You can actually see which post it is, it's that one there. So be very careful when you're actually putting this on. That's been glued on now there, and that'll get left like that. I won't be putting the fishing wire on the top. Attention is going to turn now to these bits here. One bloomer that I have made is that I should have made a second hole at the time there, which I'll try and do somehow to get this fence post in for the gate. Then we'll get the gates made up and in, and then we'll take it from there where we're going to go. So it's a little bit of a problem that I've encountered there. And when we're on about other people to follow as well, you can see all around there. My mate Matt Janes down at Wrangler Europe in Antwerp, he's the marketing director there, asks me as usual just to give you a little plug. So there you go, Matt, that's your little plug there. Now Matt has actually seen that sign there up in place, and he's told me I've now got that correct for the period that this layout is set in, so that advert is now correct and won't need changing. What one person suggested I could do is possibly make it onto a little billboard. So I'll certainly have a look at that in the future, because I have got somewhere some spare billboards. So that is a good, that person that suggested that, Martin Atfield, thank you for that, Martin, and I will have a look at doing that for the rugby ground as well. Now we'll just come up here again, and you can see the little work that's been done here. That there is the back of the Comet store now, and that's how I've decorated it. And my plan is to actually put some fencing in there. Now, what I was thinking initially was putting chain link fencing in there, but I've had a little thought as well. I've got this fencing on here. I'm thinking about using some chain link fencing along here instead, and then just using the normal fencing there. The alternative is I take this fence out here and put the chain link fencing along there. So could you please let me know what you think I should do? Chain link along here, normal fencing there, or normal fencing along here, chain link along there. And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to get on and try and get these gates sorted. Wish me luck. When Scale Model Scenery said that installing the fishing wire was a fiddly job, I can assure you they weren't kidding at all. But that's the first gate on as well. The two gates will be left open, And this is going to be for a smaller gate, which you can see there. And that'll sit about there. But that one will probably open up that way. It is an extremely fiddly job. No joking there. But I've got it on as best I can. Now, David Watson at Dean Park Station has said that when I asked him marks out of 0 for this, he did say he's seen a lot worse than what I've done. He's probably seen a lot better as well. That wouldn't surprise me. But it is not very easy at all. And if you are struggling for patience, perhaps this is not the sort of fencing you want to be installing. We're going to be very close to getting finished soon, however, with this. And once that's done, it'll just be additional signage in the depot area. While I'm on about additional signage, I've also installed something. Oh, you could see there another little problem I've encountered. There we go. That there, that's also from the right track signs. Stop, look and listen, beware of trains. I've got signs, do not trespass on the railway, to be installed on the lamp post. So they'll get one or just beyond the lamp post. So one will probably get put there, and I'll decide on the locations of the others. All in all though, this depot area is nearing completion. This will get properly glued down from the top with PVA, and then I'll maybe just put some growth along the edge of the fence there as well, and then that will be the whole lot completed. Just one last little thing before I do finish off, because I'm running out of power on this camcorder battery. I forgot to mention, I was thinking about changing the road layout here. I haven't consulted with a couple of people. I'm just going to leave it as it is. It works fine as it is. The only thing was, this was previously going to be a one-way street coming this way. What I'm now going to do is have it as a one-way street going that way instead. It just gives it a better flow right the way along. Given Memorial Road's a one-way street coming out, that's a one-way street going in. So I think I can leave it like that. I'm quite happy with that. Just another couple of quick shout outs to people before we do finish off for this month. And if you could also say hello to a guy called Mike Wellsby, who's on Facebook. He frequently posts on the likes of Dean Park Station. If you could also give a quick hello and like on YouTube to March West Junction TMD, run by Andrew MacDonald. And also, if you can also give a check out to James Deltic Junction again on Facebook as well. They'll be glad of your support. So that's it for the June update. I don't know how much progress I'll have done next month, because the weather's supposed to be nice. It's summer after all, he says. But there will be a small amount of progress done next month, and I'll give you an update on where I've got to with in terms of getting the chain link fencing, the torture yourself kit done. And there's some work that I've actually done on the pathways in the depot. I'll show you them next month as well. So all that remains for me to do is to say thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your layouts, please stay safe, and we'll look forward to your company again in the near future. Goodbye for now.